A new update is coming to Brawl Stars in a few days, and I think that we're going to be getting a couple of new brawlers, an intriguing new environment, skins, balance changes, gears, and the long-awaited Masteries. So, what's it all going to look like? Well, I've got some ideas, I've got some predictions, and I think that you're going to like it. First and foremost, when is the next update? Well, Brawl Stars hasn't officially said, but in this image that they put out a while back, it has the date right there in the middle, 25/02/2023, which of course is the 25th of this month, just a couple days away. Now, of course, if you want all of the Brawl Stars update info, make sure to subscribe, as I'm going to bring you the sneak peeks, all the first looks, and everything in the update the second that Brawl Stars allows me to share that info with you. So let's take a look at things that we might be seeing in the next Brawl Stars update. First off, let's address the known. We know that we're going to be getting Masteries in the next update. Not only was this mentioned in the roadmap that Brawl Stars team presented in the Brawl Talk a while back, but they also teased it at the end of last year with the Brawlies at the very end of the video, which I want a Brawly. Yay. We've seen many concepts of what Masteries might be like, but my guess is it's going to be one of two different things. Now, my first thought was that it might be just like what Clash Royale does, where you have individual Masteries for each card, and you have certain challenges that you have to complete. As you complete them, you earn a new Mastery badge as well as some rewards. It's a good system. Secondly, I think that it could be something different based on something more generic, like kills or wins. However, both kills and wins would be easier to get at lower trophy levels, so my fear is that people might just drop trophies to complete the Masteries easier if that's the case. I don't know. Either way, the big thing that I want to know about Masteries is, will there be any rewards? Will it just be a badge or something purely cosmetic, or are we going to actually get in-game rewards for them as well? Namely, something like coins. Currently, coins are the big roadblock in progression, so if there are any rewards, I would love to see those rewards be coins. I think that these Masteries and the potential rewards would give new players a better sense of progression as well, especially early game. Now, there are some other smaller intriguing things coming too, and I'll touch on those in a moment, but first let's take a look at the big three things in any Brawl Stars update: skins, environments, and brawlers. Now, first off, we have this image. In this image, we see a couple of things. First off, the obvious one is the robot brawler on the left-hand side, and I think that I can pretty confidently say that this is teasing a new skin for Sprout, since that hand is clearly that one of Sprout. Now, the model looks more boxy than the normal Sprout dome of glass, so if this is a skin for Sprout, I'm pretty excited to see what it's going to look like. Now, one of the main reasons that I don't think it's a new brawler, it's not just because of the hand. It's also because Brawl Stars almost never shows this much of a new brawler. The only exception that I can think of is M's quite a while back, when right before she was released, it showed her like peeking out from behind a tree. Otherwise, we usually just get like little hints about the brawler, but not the brawler itself. As for other things in this photo that are also interesting to me are the bolts on the ground, the coins, and whatever green thing that is on the camera. Now, the bolts and the coins just could be from like a fight like Griff and Pam, like it's just the shells from their fight, but it also could be something else as well. Next up, we have this image of Mortis getting a Valentine's card from some unknown person. They also gave him a bouquet in a dead fish's mouth. Very romantic. What I see here are that there are green footprints heading towards the lake and then a splash in the distance. It's like this person dropped off the note and the flowers, rang the bell, and then just took off and jumped into the lake. It's like they wanted Mortis to be their Valentine, but they were too shy to stand there and actually give it to him. So my question is, who did this? What brawlers are underwater or can swim? And the only one that really comes to mind is Otis. So this could either be teasing a new skin for Otis or even perhaps a new underwater brawler. There's no real way to know for sure. However, the handwriting on the card looks very much like something that Otis would do. So that's my guess. It's a new skin for Otis and they're just teasing this. Could it be like a slimy skin for Otis? That might be kind of cool. But following along with that slime, if you remember back to the previous image, there was some green spot on that camera. It could be from this brawler as well, or this skin as well. And then even there was one picture with Mandy and Chester like mixing some potions, and in the back there was a bucket of slime. Now that could just be Chester trying to play a trick on somebody, but it also could have to do with this new skin as well, or potential skin. Now let's talk about the big image that we saw just today. This one has a lot of really intriguing stuff. In this image, you see that Nita, Bonnie, and Spike are on a lift headed up to Candyland, and that's all fine and good, but what's really interesting to me is what's below. That's what she said. Peeking above the clouds, we see 3 known environments as well as a 4th place. We have the Snowtel, the Stunt Show Arena, the Velocirapids Water Park, and then we have a Starr Park Tower. Now, all of these places mean something, and I'll get into the Starr Park Tower in just a second because it's juicy, but equally as interesting are the other 3. Now, one of these 3 is not like the others. 2 of these have something in common, and one of them sticks out like a sore thumb. Have you figured it out yet? Well, the Snowtel has a fully complete 3 brawler trio with Gale, Mr. P, and Lou. And the Stunt Show, likewise, has a full trio with Janet, Stu, and Bonnie. The water park, on the other hand, only has 1 brawler in it. And I've been covering Brawl Stars long enough to know that Brawl Stars puts things in for a reason. It wasn't by chance that these 3 were used, and while yes, I am speculating here, I think that it's finally time that we see another brawler coming into the water park trio. I mean, Buzz, he's kind of lonely. And if we're thinking of a new water park themed brawler, the question that I always ask myself is, what other jobs would you see at a water park? You could have a maintenance person, or manager, or even something wild like a floaty that's just come to life. I mean, this is Starr Park after all, but every water park that I've ever been to, there's always a concession stand, a place to get drinks. So Schneiderpox drew up this concept art for me of a dino-themed concession stand worker in the water park trio. The name of this brawler is, I don't know. It's not actually the name. I'm saying I don't know because I'm really bad at naming brawlers, so you guys let me know what you think that this brawler's name should be in the comments. So yes, I think that we will be getting a new brawler to the water park trio. What might this concept brawler do? Well, I think that it's high time we have another thrower. And if this person's serving drinks, why can't they be throwing them? Or they're throwing hot dogs or pizzas, or it's getting kind of weird now, but you get what I'm saying. They're throwing the concession stand stuff. Okay, so what about the other mystery here? The Starr Park Tower. Well, this is where it gets really interesting. I'll just say it. I think that the next new environment coming into the game is a Starr Park radio area. Like, if you look real close, you can see the antenna coming off the top of the tower. Now, if you compare that to the WKBRL radio that we saw in Terra's Bazaar, you can see just how much they resemble each other. I mean, yes, the tower has a more robust version. It has to project it, not just receive it, but they're both clearly antennas. And if we get a new Starr Park radio environment, surely we're going to have a new brawler for that environment as well, right? I think so. Now, my first guess is like a talk show host or a DJ. Now, a while back, I predicted that there would be a DJ coming into the game. Granted that the type of DJ I showed you and predicted was much different, like a club-style DJ, but it was an interesting concept where the DJ threw its records in like a little arc. Now, I don't think that this is the type of DJ that would be in this area, like a WKBRL podcaster, but I think it's more of like probably going to be like a low-key radio host or somebody with their own podcast. And if we do get a brawler like that, he could like throw his microphone or bore people to death with his podcast. But if you think that Masteries, a new Starr Park environment, a water park brawler is all that's coming, you'd be wrong. Of course, we're going to be getting some balance changes as well. And if you've ever wanted to suggest your own balance changes, well, then I suggest that you head on over to Twitter and follow Adrian. He's the developer in charge of balance changes, and honestly, he does really listen to feedback, so go scream at him, buff Shelly, or, nerf Sam. Both of those things need to happen. Another smaller thing that I think we might be getting are some new emoji pins. Frank, the lead developer of Brawl Stars, asked the community over on Twitter for some input on what emojis might be missing from the game. Well, other than the poo emoji. Of course, I'm reading into this, but it does seem logical that he might be looking for some suggestions on emojis people might like to see, and if they're good, well then they just might make it into the game. Brawl Stars also tweeted about some ideas for new game modes, and I definitely think we're going to see them try some new game modes as well, whether it be in this update or later, I'm not sure, but they even replied to a couple of those comments. One of them talked about a League of Legends style MOBA game in Brawl Stars, which I think would be really amazing. I also think that we're going to get a bunch of new maps in the game. Recently, Brawlcraft hosted an official contest where they were looking for some new maps in pretty much every mode. They got over 2,500 submissions, and they're going to be choosing the winners soon, and I bet that we're going to be seeing some of those maps make it into the game. I mean, I made one for the contest. I don't think I have a shot at winning, but it was still fun. Another thing that the dev team is looking at is restructuring duels. They're looking into maps and the overall game structure. Personally, I always find it super annoying when you go into a game and you just flat out get hard countered and you have zero chance of winning. Or even worse, when someone just sits behind a wall and waits for the smoke to come in and then walks out with Frank and clobbers you. So chicken. The devs know all of this and they're looking at some ways to remedy the situation. Now, I don't think it's going to be this update, but definitely look for something on the horizon, kind of restructuring and fixing duels. Of course, I also think we're going to be getting some new gears as well. I think that's kind of a given. But one thing that we won't be getting this update or, well, ever is Showdown Plus. If you remember Showdown Plus, it was just Showdown that gave you extra trophies for every kill, and Frank confirmed that that mode will not be coming back. Now, if we take a look at the checklist that Frank tweeted a while back, we still have Masteries, matchmaking and cosmetic improvements, social media sharing, and PvE weekend modes overhaul still coming. And that's just the things that we know about. He did go on to mention that Mapmaker and more lore still in their sights, but won't be anytime real soon, which is unfortunate because I definitely wanted a Mapmaker overhaul, and I know a lot of people still play it, even if just for your quests, and it would have been awesome, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. My question for you is, what do you want in the next update? What are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out. Peace out, A-Town. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop.